Brittany is with us in Ann Arbor. Hi, Brittany. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi there, Dave. Hi, Dr. John. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
So I grew up in a really, really poor family, and I married into a family who's super good with money. Since my husband and I got married, we paid off $58,000 in our debt, but we still have $36,000 to go.
Good. Way to go.
My parents keep asking us for money, though, because we had been open and honest at the beginning that we were doing the Dave Ramsey plan because we were hoping that they would follow along, too. But they think now that because we've paid off so much that we have a lot more money in our months to work with, and now they're asking for money and making me feel bad about not helping them. I don't intend to help them, and I've told them no, and we've laid down that boundary, but they keep asking, and in private, I feel really bad. How do I deal with the feelings of shame from my parents?
Why do you feel bad?
Because I feel like I'm letting them down.
So beyond the feel, one of the things I tell people all the time is to demand evidence from your feelings. Is that a true statement? Are you letting down your parents?
I don't know.
No, you know.
I feel like
they're grown-ups who are choosing not to.
Yeah, like they should know how to deal with this, but they weren't taught how to deal with their money either, and they don't want to take from me saying that we should do Dave Ramsey together because they're my parents, and so they're thinking like, what the heck does she know? And
so you're good enough to give them money, but not good enough to give them advice. Well, that's an interesting arrogance.
That's right. So I will help you with your algebraic equation demanding evidence. Does A plus B equal C in this one? No. Your parents are making a grown-up decision to do grown-up things with their money, and they're making a childish, immature decision to hit their child up for money because they can't be disciplined themselves. You are released from that. You're doing a hard, wise adult thing, and you're setting up boundaries for yourself and your family. You've done a hard thing, which is to communicate those to your parents, and those are the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to keep banging their head up against those boundaries to see if they hold.
And let me tell you, I'll just say out loud, okay? This is Papa Dave, all right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they even ask you for money is wrong. That's wrong.
Thank you.
It's just wrong. They don't have rights to your money. The fact that they put you in that corner and make you feel that way is just wrong. It's just wrong. And it's child abuse. It's adult child abuse. And, there's something in their upbringing that makes them think that it's okay. Well, we're all family. That's why we say it when we're hillbillies, right? We're all family. And that means you're supposed to put up with toxic bullcrap. That's what that phrase means. We're all family, which it means you're supposed to tolerate stupidity and just embrace it because it's part of we're family. Nope. You're crazy.
Because you're building a new family, right? A new legacy. You are ending that nonsense with you. And here, we talk about boundaries a lot, and we also talk about it the cycle stop with you. And when they talk about it in therapeutic sessions, they talk about a raging forest fire that someone finally stops and turns and faces down. What they don't tell about that metaphor is that when you stop and face down a forest fire, you get burned. It hurts. And that's where you are right now. It sucks. It's hard.
Yeah.
And your kids are not going to have to deal with this nonsense because you took one for the legacy. You took one for the family tree.
You're changing the family tree.
And it hurts, but you're doing right.
So the only way you can have these discussions anymore is just say, A, we're not going to have any more discussions about this, Mom and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
The answers are perpetual no. No. Or if you want to help after you're out of your baby step 2, you can't help at all while you're in baby step 2. You're not allowed. I'm not going to let you. Okay? You just tell them Dave said you suck. No. Okay? So, no. Don't tell them that. But just tell them Dave said no. And so, but once you have some money, but right now you're broken in debt. Okay? So you don't have any money. So we don't need to talk about you being outrageously generous to somebody. I mean, you'd be tithing if you're a Christian or whatever, but that's but giving money away to enable relatives is not even on your list right now. You're trying to get out of debt, get your emergency fund. But once you're in baby step 4, if you wanted to reach over and pay a $500 bill or something, that has to come. If it's coming from my house, here's what it would sound like. To a friend or a family member, I'm going to give you a gift of $500 one time on the condition that you complete Financial Peace University. And if you're unwilling to go to the class and complete that, then I'm unwilling to make you the gift, because I am not going to give a cocaine addict money for their cocaine. And you, when it comes to money, are a cocaine addict. You are misbehaving, and you have for decades. And I love you enough to tell you that. And when you quit misbehaving, I will fund your recovery. I will not fund your misbehavior, because that's called enabling. Enablers are sweet people, but they do not help. They actually harm. When you give a drunk a drink, you are actually causing them to be a drunk.
Yeah.
You're not blessing them.
That's why we were saying no.
Yeah. You're really not helping.
Your show every day.
Yeah, you're really not helping, and it's just so hard. Now, I will tell you this, too. What John said is true. The forest fire is going to burn. This is going to hurt. And it's not going to quit hurting. I'm not going to tell you that. Here's why. Your spiritual DNA is designed to want to please your Heavenly Father.
Mm-hmm.
That same connective tissue is the connective tissue you have to your mom and dad. And so your desire to please them will not go away as long as you breathe. The problem is that while you desire to please God, He is perfect in His love towards you. They are imperfect in their love towards you. And so you have to set up boundaries. But you're not going to get away from the desire to please your parents as long as you breathe, even after they're dead. Some people spend half their 60s and 70s trying to please dead parents, trying to live up to my daddy's expectations, and he's been gone for 20 years. And that kind of a thing. So your desire to please your parents is built into your spiritual DNA. You're not going to get away from that. And that's why it hurts. That's why it hurts.
But you got to give so what Dave is saying, you got to give yourself some space. When those feelings come, they're real. You acknowledge them, and then you demand evidence, and then you realize, no, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then you can go about your day.
Yeah. My desire to please my dad is a natural thing. My desire to please my mom is a natural thing. Their request is unnatural and toxic and wrong and morally wrong. And so that's where you have to separate it.
And there's some people, Dave, that prey on that.
Oh, they do. They're called travel agent for guilt trips, right?
Right. They prey on that desire to please.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, they know how to manipulate it.
Oh,
and how to play it. And again, sometimes it's a cultural thing. It's like I can hear it. Not my family didn't do this, but I've heard it in the neighborhood, the hillbilly elegy that I grew up in, kind of a thing. And it's just like, well, it's family. And you got to take care of family, regardless of how stupid and out of control and toxic they are. I have to take care of them. Well, maybe not. Maybe he needs to stay in jail a while. He drinks every weekend and beats his wife. It's a good idea for him to stay there. I don't care if he's family. You know what I mean?
Maybe the best way to help out, right?
Yeah, the best way to help. He needs to be incarcerated. This guy needs to be off the street. He happens to be my brother. But, it's like, that's not my case. But, I mean, I've watched this kind of stuff my whole life. And it's like, well, they're family. That doesn't matter. It means you overlook complete disasters? Right. No, we don't overlook it. We love them in spite of that, but that doesn't mean we're going to embrace the stupidity and endorse it and make it a part of the rhythm of our life and the rhythm of our children's lives as a result. And you got to break the cycle.
Not even the rhythm; it's the soul and integrity and strength of your family and your marriage and your kids and wherever you're headed, right?
And the Netflix movie, I think, sucks, but the book was one of the best books I've ever read, Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance.
Oh, it's extraordinary.
And it's an extraordinary book. And because the book itself talks about how he broke the cycle. He gave honor to his upbringing and yet broke the cycle. And both those things are accomplished beautifully, not in the screenplay, but in the book.